You know, for what should piss me off right now, it's not going to piss me off because it's obvious why these people keep doing what they're doing to us. You know what I'm saying? They hate us. And you know who they are. They hate us. They're never going to stop hating us. They're never going to stop disrespecting us. They're never going to stop, just portraying the most negative thing they can about us. You know what I'm saying? Granted, we do a lot of negative shit we do a lot of damage to ourselves too, but they hate us. The enemy, they really hate us. Even when we're dead, they still hate us. All right? Martin Luther King, rest in peace. The city of Boston, Massachusetts, a heavily racist city. Let me just say that right now. Let me just state that right now. Let me just remind y'all, if y'all don't know, or reinforce y'all in case y'all forgot. The city of Boston, very racist. One of the most heavily racist locations in this country. That's a fact. I'm from Connecticut. I go to Boston. I've been out there a few times. I know the history of Boston. Seen documentaries on Boston. I know people from out there. I know what it is about Boston, all right? They unveil the sculpture, the statue of Martin Luther King. And it is the most ridiculous fucking looking sculpture I have ever seen in my entire life. And I've seen many, going back to the Sphinx, you know what I mean? Like, this is the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen as far as a statue. This statue right here is straight disrespect. This don't even look serious. This don't even look like somebody seriously sat down and came up with this concept for what is supposed to be a statue to represent one of the greatest figures in this country, period. One of the greatest people that ever lived in America, period. Martin Luther King. This thing here, this shit here, that is supposed to be him, this is blatant disrespect. There's actually, I'm gonna get into this shit, but there's actually an aerial view where they're looking at the sculpture from in the sky, and it literally, listen to me, it literally looks like a piece of shit. It literally looks like a piece of shit. Literally. It's already brown. So, all right, listen, right? I seen this on the news. The news is saying that this is a $10 million project. A $10 million project. This shit. Like, how do you not just make a regular statue of Martin Luther King? See, this sculpture is supposed to, as far as what they're saying, it is supposed to represent Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King in a picture that they were hugging each other. So this is actually what this sculpture is depicting, is Martin Luther King and his wife hugging each other. If you wanted to create a sculpture that represent Martin Luther King and his wife, why not just do that? Why not just make a statue with a head on there, with a head on both of them, to represent what you're looking at? How do you just look at arms and that is supposed to be a memory of Martin Luther? Like that's just arms. Like, these niggas got my shit, like, kind of off right now, y'all. Like, for real, bro. Like, I can't, like, I was supposed to be making a video about something totally different, and this just came across me, and I had to say something about this shit because I'm looking for people speaking about it, and I'm not seeing these videos. I only seen about 2 videos of 2 dudes speaking about it. This is a disgrace. An absolute disgrace. Whoever came up with this, suck a dick. Fuck you. And at the end of the day, it's not even about that. It's not even about being disrespectful, because like I told y'all, the enemy they just hate us. It doesn't matter how we appropriate in society. It doesn't matter how we appropriate in society. It doesn't matter who we are. It doesn't matter how intelligent you are. It doesn't matter the purpose that you serve. It doesn't matter. Martin Luther King was obviously an integrationalist, wanted to intermingle with these white people, with the white population in America. And this is how they commemorate him or whatever. This is how they want to remember him, by just arms. No fucking face. Nothing to depict who that actually is. Somebody had to literally explain it to everybody what the fuck is going. Like, without the title, you would never, ever, ever figure out what you were looking at. That's how disrespectful these motherfuckers is. And they put it in a racist ass city. So for the sculpture to not have a face, it says volume about what level of racism Boston is on, because they don't want a face on, they don't want to represent a black face. They don't want to celebrate a black face, is what I'm saying. They don't want to celebrate Martin Luther King in any type of way. This is like some charity bullshit. And it's clearly an overtone of disrespect. Because if they were to make a statue about a white prominent figure, he would have had a head and everything else. His whole fucking body would have been there. When the fuck do you make a statue in a memory of somebody without a fucking face? How do we even know what it is? How do we even know that it's representing Martin Luther King? You know, I seen his son, like a press conference, because, you know, of course they're going to have a little press conference about it. His son up there loving it. The granddaughter up there, or the great-granddaughter, whatever, loving it. Did they pay these motherfuckers off? They probably did. But they're loving it. They're up there like, yeah, you know, this is it. It's beautiful, beautiful. Like, what the fuck is so beautiful about something that looks like doo-doo? That shit is a disgrace, man. America will never accept black people. Will never represent black people the right way. Ever. These are the same motherfuckers. Pretty much, man, I'm going to keep it so real. Like, the white people of today's world that's running shit, that's in government and all of that, they are the same motherfuckers from way back when. It's the same mentality they got. They don't look at us as a man. They don't respect us as human beings. And they don't feel like we are, like we matter. Like we even belong. How do you disrespect Martin Luther King like this? We should have never even thought about, like, Martin Luther King, even though at the time it was beneficial for us to integrate. But at the end of the day, man, the disrespect don't stop. This is complete bullshit. And I'm done.